I am Mr. Sandeep Dattatreya Kardili, M.Pharm Pharmaceutics, working as a lecturer in Mula Rural Institute of Pharmacy, Sune, and I am giving presentation on chapter Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985, Part 2. First of all, contents of my presentation. NDPS Consultative Committee, then Prohibition, Control and Regulation, control on certain operations by central government, and lastly, offences and penalties of NDPS Act 1985. Firstly, Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Consultative Committee. It is also called as a NDPS Consultative Committee. This committee is constituted for efficient administration of this act by the central government as an advisory committee. It consists of chairman and not more than 20 members. This committee gives advices to the central government on the matters relating to administration of this act. And prohibition, control and regulation of the NDPS Act 1985. No person shall a. cultivate any coca plant or gather any portion of the coca plant, or b. cultivate the opium poppy or any cannabis plant, or produce, manufacture, possess, sell, purchase, transport, warehouse, use, consume, import interstate, export interstate, import into India, export from India, or transship any narcotic drug or psychotropic substance, except for medical or scientific purposes and in the manner and to the extent provided by the provisions of this Act or the rules or orders made thereunder. Control on certain operations by central government. A. Empower the central government to fix from time to time the limits within which licenses may be given for the cultivation of the opium poppy. B. Require that all opium, the produce of land cultivated with the opium poppy, shall be delivered by the cultivators to the officers authorized in this behalf by the central government. C. Prescribe the forms and conditions of licenses for cultivation of the opium poppy and for production and manufacture of opium. The fees that may be charged there for the authorities by which such licenses may be granted, withheld, refused, or cancelled, and the authorities before which appeals against the orders of withholding, refusal, or cancellation of licenses shall lie. D. Prescribe that opium shall be weighed, examined, and classified according to its quality and consistence by the officers authorized in this behalf by the central government in presence of the cultivator at the time of delivery by the cultivator. E. Empower the central government to fix from time to time the price to be paid to the cultivators for the opium delivered. F. Provide for the weighment, examination, and classification according to the quality and consistence of the opium received at the factory, and the deductions from examination, classification, deductions or additions shall be made, and the authorities before which appeals against such decisions shall lie. G. Require that opium delivered by a cultivator, if found as a result of examination in the central government, factory to be adulterated may be confiscated, that is seized, by the officers authorized in this behalf. H. Prescribe the forms and conditions of licenses for manufacture drugs, the authorities by which such licenses may be granted, and the fees may be charged therefore. I. Prescribe the forms and conditions of licenses or permits for the manufacture, possession, transport, import interstate, export interstate, sale, purchase, consumption, or use of psychotropic substances. The authorities by which such licenses or permits may be granted and the fees that may be charged therefore. J. Prescribe the ports and other places at which any kind of narcotic drugs or psychotropic substances may be imported into India or exported from India or transshipped. The forms and conditions of certificates, authorization, or permits, as the case may be, for such import, export, or transshipment, the authorities by which such certificates, authorizations, or permits may be granted, and the fees that may be charged therefore. Firstly, offences and penalties of Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. Firstly, punishment for contravention in relation to poppy straw. Penalties: rigorous imprisonment for not less than 10 years, which may extend to 20 years, with fine not less than 1 lakh rupees, which may extend to 2 lakh or more for certain reasons. Second offence, punishment for contravention in relation to coca plant and coca leaves. Rigorous imprisonment for a term not less than 10 years, which may extend to 20 years, with fine not less than 1 lakh, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. Third, punishment for contravention in relation to prepared opium. Rigorous imprisonment for a term not less than 10 years, which may extend to 20 years, with fine not less than 1 lakh, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. Fourth, punishment for contravention in relation to opium poppy and opium. Rigorous imprisonment for a term not less than 10 years, which may extend to 20 years, with fine not less than 1 lakh, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. 5. Punishment for embezzlement, that is illegal disposal of opium by a cultivator. Rigorous imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 10 years, but which may extend to 20 years, and shall also be liable to fine which shall not be less than 1 lakh, but which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. Sixth, punishment for contravention in relation to cannabis plant and cannabis, where such a contravention relates to ganja or the cultivation of cannabis plant. Rigorous imprisonment up to 5 years with a fine up to 50,000 rupees. B. Where such a contravention relates to cannabis other than ganja, rigorous imprisonment for a term not less than 10 years, which may extend to 20 years, with fine not less than 1 lakh, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. 7th, punishment for contravention in relation to manufactured drugs and preparations. Rigorous imprisonment for a term not less than 10 years, which may extend to 20 years, with fine not less than 1 lakh, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. 8. Punishment for contravention in relation to psychotropic substances. A rigorous imprisonment for a term not less than 10 years, which may extend to 20 years, with fine not less than 1 lakh, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. 9. Punishment for illegal import into India, export from India, or transshipment of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. rigorous imprisonment for a term not less than 10 years, which may extend to 20 years, with fine not less than 1 lakh, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. 10. Punishment for external dealings in narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. Rigorous imprisonment for a term not less than 10 years, which may extend to 20 years, with a fine not less than 1 lakh, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. 11. Punishment for allowing premises, etc., to be used for commencement of an offence. Rigorous imprisonment for a term not less than 10 years, which may extend to 20 years, with fine not less than 1 lakh, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. 12. Punishment for certain acts by licensee or his servants. The act are: A. Omits without any reasonable cause to maintain accounts or to submit any. B. Fails to produce without any reasonable cause such a license, permit, or authorization on demand of an officer authorized by the central government or state government in this behalf. C. Keeps any accounts or makes any statement which is false. D. Willfully and knowingly does any act in breach of any of the conditions of license, permit, or authorization for which a penalty is not prescribed elsewhere in this act, he shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years or with fine or both. 13. Punishment for illegal possession in small quantity for a personal consumption of any narcotic drug or psychotropic substance or consumption of such a drug or substance. Penalty: A. Where the narcotic drug consumed is cocaine, morphine, diacetylmorphine, or any other narcotic drug or psychotropic substance, imprisonment up to 1 year or fine or both. B. Where the narcotic drug or psychotropic substance possessed or consumed is other than those mentioned above, is punishable with imprisonment up to 6 months or fine or both. 14. Enhanced punishment for certain offences after previous conviction. On second and every subsequent conviction of offence, rigorous imprisonment for not less than 15 years, which may extend to 30 years, with fine not less than 1,50,000 rupees, which may extend to 3 lakh rupees. These are some of the references which is used. It is Kuchekar PS, textbook of Pharmaceutical Jurisprudence, Nirali Prakashan, and also second reference is Jain NK, a textbook of Forensic Pharmacy, 6th edition, Vallabh Prakashan. Lastly, thank you.